We got an email question. So this is from Janet. How do lawyers decide how much your case should be worth?
Well, that's a good question. Why don't we let Doug answer that one first, and then I'll come back to it. Doug, you got the question. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No problem. I got my earpiece back in there, too. How do lawyers decide how much your case should be worth? Well, really, that's more a Larry question, because if you're a plaintiff's lawyer, you do have to kind of make that decision. And particularly in your line of work, Larry, with personal injury cases, you do have to evaluate the potential liability and the potential damages. A lot of times I'm doing more mundane things like real estate, other litigation. So, you know, the amount of cases worth isn't really usually part of what I'm looking at.
That's right. Well, in the personal injury field, a lot of people think, well, it's just, you know, how much are my medical bills? How much time am I off of work? Is that all I'm entitled to? And the answer is no. And sometimes just using that to kind of anchor what the value of the claim is can be very misleading. I've had cases that just really a few $1,000s and they end up settling for hundreds of thousands. Had one that, Doug, that I think the medical bills were about $12,000, ended up settling for $1 million. It depends on what the variables are and how they have an effect on somebody's life. So it's not just the medical bills, it's not just your lost wages, it's not just your time off of work. You have to take into account literally hundreds of variables to indicate what your case value may be worth. Sometimes the value of your case is limited by either a statutory amount, if a governmental entity is involved. Sometimes it is limited by the policy limits. Like they say, you can't get blood from a turnip. And sometimes it's a statutory scheme. The legislative the legislature has put certain rules and regulations in place, even for medical malpractice cases and things like that, where there are certain caps in certain situations. So there's a lot of different things that go into what is the value of my case, or how does it go into it. So each case is decided differently. So you need to speak with an attorney to go over those variables and get your best result that you possibly can.